right, so growing up, man, like I used to always want to be in the Olympics, and the reason being is because like growing up, like that was one of the bigger things that was on TV. I just for myself personally, like watching sports and just seeing people from all over the world congregate and come play. Obviously, growing up, I always wanted to play. Actually, maybe you don't know this, but soccer. I always wanted to like be in
Yeah.
the FIFA World Cup first. And when I saw the Olympics, I was like, okay, oh, now I want to be in basketball. Then the whole Michael Phelps era came in, right? And he was a beast, and Usain Bolt, and I was like, man, like it would be so cool to be like an individual sport, because then like I just feel like that hits different when you get that gold, like that's
No, it's so different.
it's only you. So did you ever have these like wild dreams to be in
Dude,
the Olympics, or
I don't know if
if you
I
did, what
was
would you play?
dude, I don't know if I was trying to get into the Olympics. I mean, this is honestly like I got into basketball because of NBA Live 2004. I got into the World Cup because of FIFA
Yes,
2002 World Cup on my Xbox. Literally, like
classic
video
games.
games was my entry to sports both ways. That's how it started.
If you could pick an individual sport right now, knowing, and obviously you know a bunch now, what would you just try to get into? Like, what would you want to be? Like, this is what I want a gold medal in.
I love badminton. I think badminton is sick.
Oh,
A gold medal in badminton is vibes. Also, India is good at badminton, so like it's
yo,
kind of cool.
there's some
Yeah.
there's some really good badminton players, man. I went through my stint there, but it got so competitive, and the skill levels just got so different because they're committed. They're
Yeah.
committed. But let me ask you this: in a very eventful past, week, 2 weeks, did you know? Did you know that India has won 61, basically 60 plus medals at the Commonwealth Games?
Dude, it's honestly so historic. And like the sports in which these gold medals were won, like I'm excited to this is probably like I'm excited to dive into this episode. Like this is gonna be sick.
This is
There's some bars about to be dropped, that's for
this is
sure.
huge. Yeah, just so you guys know, G is actually like a part-time rapper on the side. So his man's always has bars. Sometimes you need to rewind the episode in order to catch the bars he's dropping.
Truth, truth.
Which is actually good truth. I'm not gassing you at all. Uh this is like part of what the platform is, and what we're trying to build it, right? Is establishing, trying to tell these stories, trying to give spotlight where it's due and deserved. And Commonwealth Games is a great example of that, right? And why don't we start it off with what we know best? Which actually, before we even start off, let's talk about the opening ceremony, because I
Dude,
think we were both taken aback at the opening ceremony and the song and the artist that was used and played. So, what do you think about it?
I mean, okay. Let's set the stage. Commonwealth Games is basically held every 4 years. It is like the Olympics, but it's like only consists of countries that were ruled by Britain. Whatever. Kind of weird, but it is what it
It
is.
is.
Um, weird dynamics, but it's a really important sporting competition. During the ceremonies, England's an interesting place when it comes to India. The national dish in England is butter chicken.
I didn't know that.
Like that's kind of wild. Um, and this is held in Birmingham. A song comes on, and the announcer says, and this is the direct quote, which I want to read out because it cracks me up. She says, lots of young British Asians raving in daytime clubs, taking a little break from studying. The clubs mainly play Bhangra music. Here's Punjabi MC. And this is like an entire stadium of like several hundreds of thousands of people. And then Punjabi MC gets out of a car and they start playing that track. How did you feel when you saw that clip now?
First of all, I love hearing you try to have the accent. Hopefully, people heard you
Yeah,
try.
I did that for 2 seconds. I was like, I'll never do that again.
For me, again, like representation, like that was dope, because like this is an artist that is extremely well known, so many hits, but I still didn't expect that at all to happen, because that's not, has that ever happened before at a sporting event like this
I mean, outside of India, I can't think of
outside of
it.
India? Yeah, I can't think of one, or maybe we're wrong, but to
I
me that
mean,
was dope.
you get them at like say NBA or MLB games, right? There's India nights and like people will play music, but like this is
Right,
different because like this is like the show. This is the ceremony. So like,
exactly.
anyway, I thought it was really cool.
No, I thought it was dope, and obviously, like our guy was out there. We want to give it, shout out to Bick. Bikram Gill, we can chop it up about the basketball side first because we just know it well. Like, dope to see him out there and represent obviously Canada. What was it like for you seeing? Because we tuned into a bunch of games together. We watched a lot of them, live streaming on YouTube and all kind of bootleg and streams, which we won't talk about right now. But what was it like for you, like actually
It
watching Big?
always
We just
cracks
saw
me
Big
up
in
how
Toronto.
it always cracks me up how hard it is to watch certain sports. Like if you don't have the right streaming service or whatever. But anyways, it's the same kind of like feedback or thoughts I had as it relates to India Rising, right? Like the commentary is the coolest part beyond the
Yes.
encore performance. Like you close your eyes, you listen to the Big Gill like commentary when he's playing, and the announcer on the Commonwealth Games broadcast is saying Big Gill is the most experienced 3-on-3 player in the Commonwealth Games. Like when a dude with a turban
Yep.
has the most, like that's sick. Like that's really cool. And like he hits the game winner for the bronze medal. Like the highlights are sick. Like this is no games. It's not like he was the first person to like enter the game. Like he was like a critical piece for the Canada bronze medal, and like that's just like respect to him, man. That's dope.
It's when have we ever seen a Indian player like that who's just dope? He's just a dope individual, dope person. Go out and kill it and come with a bronze medal and then have no media coverage essentially.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where it just like frustrates me, where I'm just like, yo, like this is a big story. Like
Yeah.
Vic getting bronze and the way he did it, like let's give people their flowers. So yeah, that's it, man.
That's it. That's it. We'll uncover more later. Look, 61 medals. You got 22 gold, 16 silver, 23 bronze. Like it was dope, right? For the country, for all the athletes involved. And what's even crazier is, as me and you were talking about it and watching highlights and going through the sports that these medals were won in, there's a wide range, right? We got weightlifting, judo, table tennis, boxing, wrestling, like obviously women's cricket, and we got stuff like lawn bowling, which we'll talk about in a bit. And we have also a wide range, like you said, of young, not to old, but young to older athletes winning medals, which also to me was unheard of
You
because
got
I
a
never
45-year-old winning a gold medal. Like
like like
that's big
what?
for
Say
sports.
that
That's
again.
sports for
What?
yeah. A 45 years old winning a gold medal is big for like any sports. Like that's cool.
I think that's such a dope story. Like the fact that yeah, you could be 45 and is
We
he gonna come
we
back at 50 and do it again? Like win more?
basically now we still have a chance.
Yeah,
We
like
basically
okay,
we
so
can still do it. We can still do our individual gold medal.
if I
Basically,
train for the
that
next
that
15
yeah
years, I can go out and maybe win.
yeah. That's basically what this is telling me.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. It's like some of the sports are dope, right? Like what was for you, what was the one that stood out to you the most?
So what stands out to me most about India the Commonwealth Games this year is this. We got over 20 goals. None of them were in cricket. Like I'm gonna say that like two more times. Like India got 20 golds in an international competition. None of them were in cricket. Like we're done with this stereotype that Indians only excel in cricket.
Yes.
We were the best nation in four sports.
Yep.
And I'm talking like badminton, table tennis, wrestling, weightlifting. Like weightlifting, that's a macho sport. Like we were the best nation in the entire Commonwealth Games, 20 plus countries, like better than Australia, England, Canada, Singapore, Malaysia. Like again, let's give the flowers. Like that's a big deal. So if I had to pick one though, the one that stands out to me the most, like I said earlier, like I would love to have been playing individual badminton. So like that's the gold medal that stands out to me. I mean, what we got 3 golds, 1 silver, 2 bronzes in badminton. It's great.
No, it's great. I'm excited to play badminton with these. There's a lot of sports that me and you are gonna start uncovering together, which will be
Game of.
yeah. Oh yeah, game of yeah, exactly. There you go. Also for India, obviously like 18th appearance at the Commonwealth Games. You know, big deal, right? I believe there was like over 100 plus men, 100 plus women, and I'll let you attest to this, but we're competing in a wide variety of sports. It wasn't just the mainstream stuff. There was a lot of other things, like, such as netball and big playing in 3-on-3, and even things like volleyball, which was dope to see.
Wait, I just have a question for you real quick. I'm looking through the list of medals and one of them is in lawn bowl. Like what's lawn bowls?
Yes, yes, yes. Waiting for my time to shine on this lawn bowl, on this lawn bowl question. Well, lawn bowl is a great game. Okay. And I just want to be completely transparent because there's no need for us to lie. I did not know that this was a game that was going to be in the Commonwealth Games or just in Olympics or for a medal. But anyways, lawn bowling is basically this. You can have a team or individuals and basically imagine a very big lawn, a green, like basically a football field essentially, but smaller. There's something called a jack or a kitty. And hopefully I said that right, but it's a smaller ball. You put the smaller ball here and you all stand back there. And it's basically like you roll your lawn ball to that ball. And the closest to that is getting awarded points. And then it gets moved all over.
So it's not croquet. It's not croquet.
No, because croquet, you're hitting it with a little stick
See,
and stuff.
this is
Through
how I know you
different.
did. This is how I know you did your research. The reaction you had is no, it's not croquet.
No,
Like,
no, forget about the research. This is, I don't know if this is a cool story or a sad story, but growing up, like we had a croquet set.
oh my
So
god, wait, what?
yeah, we would like set it up in the backyard with the little things you put in the grass, and then you make your own course and you play croquet. Like all, yeah, this is the real story, by the way. We played
Wait,
all
so
sport. My dad made us homemade cricket bats and cricket wickets and stuff, and we would play in the crescent. So I'm versed here.
wait, I love this. You've been playing croquet in the cut for a minute then.
Yo, since I was 10, I'm sure we still have the sets. I probably got some pictures. I'll pull them out next time and, and show it to you.
So do we need a lawn bowl Bollywood movie now? Like what's the deal? This is important. 45 years old getting a gold medal lawn bowl.
I I do want to say this, like Sunil, like if you're listening to this, or we could reach out to him, like I would love to have you on this pod because I want to talk about this and like I actually want to understand like the mental side, the training, like what's going on because it, it's just so unique to me. Like the
Yeah,
fact that
what
you
does
can,
training for lawn bowl look like?
yeah, you could play this game at any age, and I'm assuming actually he's probably better now because he's just like probably locked in and you know the experience. I don't know. I wouldn't want to get too far, but still, if you're listening to this, let's get you on.
Yeah, man, I'm curious because it's like most people get their reps in like a local league, right? I wonder if there's a local league or a local circuit for lawn bowl, honestly.
There
Um,
is. I can say that because I know here we have that.
oh, there is.
Yeah, there is, bro. There's tournaments,
Damn.
there's leagues. I hope to sign up to one day and play. It just looks like a relaxing sport. You know what I mean? Like it's chill.
To you, so I said badminton, right? So
Yeah.
like to you, what's like the most impressive one here from this list?
The most impressive one.
Medal, whether it's gold, silver, bronze.
Most impressive medal. There's a lot of good ones on here. Um, to me, growing up, I don't. It's this not impressive, but this is just stepping away from your question. But I just love table tennis and ping pong, so I
Sure,
love
sure.
that we're always owning that sport and killing it. Um, I also want to say this too. I didn't know squash was in the Commonwealth Games. I see a lot of uncles play squash on the weekends, and they have their competitive leagues and tournaments. And to me, that was dope. But I think for me, to answer that, it's probably weightlifting.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say on your point on squash, quick fun fact. The most common sport for Indian nationals to get athletic scholarships in the US and Canada right now is squash. Like that is the ticket. Uh obviously in like the northeast of the states, like squash is super popular. Like there's a lot of recruiting, like D1 squash recruiting, and like India is one of the target markets. So I think
that's interesting.
yeah, it's pretty wild. And like the youngest medal India got at the Commonwealth Games, Anand Singh, female, 14 years old. Like clap it up just like we did for Sunil. Like Anand, congratulations. 14 years old, gold medal. It's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm actually blown away. It's mind blowing. I again, I didn't know there was like age restrictions and different things like that. For a 14-year-old to come in and win a medal in any sport,
Any sport.
and just anything at a sporting event at this stature is like mind blowing to me. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around this, how it's possible. But like again, like mind blowing. And again, this is what it's all about is uncovering these stories, right? Like we need to have her, we need to like meet her and talk to her because like I would love to understand her preparation, her life, her journey, like what's next for her as well. Because she's only 14.
Totally. I want to say these are a lot of the highs about the Commonwealth Games, but there are some like interesting, I don't want to say lows, but some drama leading up to it, like
Yeah.
classic sports political drama. Now, do you want to let the audience know what's good there?
Are you talking about what happened in 2019?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which we're trying to wrap our heads around. So in 2019, India tries to boycott the games essentially, which you know I don't understand like at any point why you try to do it, but it's because they tried to remove, I believe, archery and shooting from the games, and obviously like going back to one of India's first ever individual gold medals, which was in shooting, with Abhinav, right? So it's like I don't, I just don't understand that. I actually want to get your thoughts on it because we didn't
Dude,
really
I actually
chat about
I
this.
want
What
to
do you think?
be I want to be on the side of the IOA. Let's role play this. I've got two sports that I kill at. Like I get my medals from it. It's a dope sport. And like archery and shooting aren't like esports and skateboarding. Like they make sense in these events.
Mhm.
We've had weirder ancillary sports in the games. Say I'm the United States, right? And all of a sudden the Olympics say, "Yo, we're not doing basketball anymore. We're not doing gymnastics or whatever.
Yeah.
Track and field. Like what are you gonna pull out of the Olympics? Like what are you doing?"
What are you competing in for medals?
I mean, look, the states obviously has like a large range, but if you're taking away sports that you're good at, like that's gonna bother me for sure. I get their
Yes.
perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I just don't get it. Little controversy here and there, but I mean, I guess that's what makes India fun in the country, and the politics always drives some type of cool story in the media. But they came back. I like imagine if they didn't compete in this one. Just it just didn't make sense. But I'm happy
That
they
oh
did.
that you can't have happen. You can't if it's
Yeah.
a game
No.
of chicken, you can't stay around that long. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so look, we're here. We competed 60 plus medals. It's great. Something obviously like we're India's famously known for is field hockey, right? Crushing in field hockey. Like there's a movie about this. I know this. I'm not gonna say anything because this is. I know you've told me in the past this is one of your favorite movies. Let's talk about the field hockey side a little bit.
Oh, I mean, winning anything in field hockey obviously for India is dope. Like Chuck to India is one of my favorite movies, especially for the women to do what they did. Like
Yeah.
it's just like amazing. And like people forget there was a time. Okay, field hockey is interesting because basically it used to be played on grass, yeah, and then it became astroturf. India killed the Olympics in field hockey until there was a structural change from into astroturf. Because as you can imagine, a lot of the facilities aren't astroturf, and it's just like a different game.
Right.
Um, so for us to now be back on top in the astroturf world is awesome. Um, I'm trying to think of other sports too where there's been like a structural change. It's like
Yeah.
it'd be like changing the 3 point line in basketball, right? Like you're
Yeah.
changing the surface and the speed at which the ball moves in field hockey, right? From grass to
Yeah. Yeah.
astroturf.
Or it'd be like, yeah. I'm trying to think like where that would happen, but I want to say this before I forget also because you had asked me a question earlier, like what sport kind of like it surprised you the most.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and actually the thing that I didn't say, which I wanted to, was I was surprised with cricket because there wasn't a men's side, and it's only focused on the women's side, which I think is great, right? And also like the testament to you said is like that wasn't the focus of this games, which is also amazing because obviously like that's one of our bigger sports, right? But
Exactly.
that was cool to see.
It was really cool to see. I mean, like the elephant in the room is like, okay, all these gold medals, but how did India do at cricket?
Yeah,
So they did great. They got a silver medal, lost by just 9 runs to Australia. This is the women's team. This is dope, but I think my takeaway from this year's Commonwealth Games is like India is so much more than cricket when it comes to athletics, and this is living proof. Like the greatest thing about sports for any kind of debate is like you can't mess with the results.
yeah,
You look at this gold medal tally, 22 medals, none of them cricket. Case closed.
done. We move on. We keep going. We keep getting better at other sports. We keep getting more gold medals outside of cricket and the things that we're essentially known for, which is what it's all about. Um, this was dope. I love chopping up about things like this and us just kind of riffing and having our thoughts and opinions because I think they're I think they're always great to listen to. Overall, this was like an amazing. amazing
I learned a lot through doing this with you. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
like
Like
just
I just
exactly.
yeah,
And like, that's what it's about too, right? It's like it's us trying to build these platforms. It's like it starts with us like understanding what's happening and then being able to put that to our following, our friends, our family. Because like I said, like someone's got to give it the representation, the coverage it needs.
completely, man. My weirdest takeaway from all this is like Punjabi MC whenever it plays now, because I'm always gonna hear that wherever I go, because that's just the way the culture is moving
Yeah.
and has been moving. Yeah, I'm gonna listen to the song, but for some reason now I'm gonna think about 22 Indian gold medals when I hear that track.
Hey, that's not a bad thing.
That's not a bad thing.
That's a good thing. So like, if y'all still here, you're on YouTube, hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe. More importantly, if you're not, if you're on Apple and Spotify, thank you so much for listening to the show and our voices. Please hit that follow button, leave us a 5-star review because those little things really matter. And we want to give a shout out to some of our audience members. First of all, shout out to everyone in Edmonton, Alberta. That we had like 40 listens, something from you guys in the last episode or so. We got people in New York, we got people in India, we got people overseas. Like, there's a good influx of people from Los Angeles. So we just want to give a shout out to all of you guys. Like, as our community builds, we want to start integrating you more and giving you little shout outs. But this is nothing without our community and our listeners. B and G know that. So we're appreciative of all of you trying to go to the top. So please, we don't ask you for anything else. Just hit that follow button. Right. And G, take us out of here, man.
Hey man, we see you guys. We see you listeners. If you have questions, if you want us to address certain topics, literally just DM us, hit us up. If you want to see something on the show, we read everything. You may not see that scene, but we do read everything. So until then, be easy. See you guys on the next episode.